Joining us right now is Texas Congressman, House Financial Services Committee member Lance Gooden. And Congressman, it's good to see you this morning. Thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
So confirm what we've been speculating this morning, and that is everything's off the table in terms of legislative progress. They're gonna pursue an impeachment. Obviously, that means no USMCA. That means no immigration, no guns, no health care. Nothing gets done. Is that right?
That's right. And they started this Congress saying we want to work across the aisle and deliver for the American people. They've accomplished nothing, and they've confirmed with their latest actions yesterday that it's going to be more of the same through Christmas.
And you are introducing a resolution to remove Jerry Nadler as chairman of the House Judiciary Committee in response to the impeachment proceedings that he's overseeing. You say Chairman Nadler is, quote, ripping this country apart. Tell us more.
Yeah, so what we did back in July was we actually voted on an impeachment resolution. We brought it to the floor. It failed. Democrats didn't even get a majority of their caucus to support it. What Chairman Nadler has done is gone forward with an impeachment inquiry that was not authorized by the House. House rules say that we have to actually vote on that. And he has stated many times, I'm impeaching the president. We are in impeachment proceedings. What Nancy Pelosi said yesterday changes absolutely nothing. All she did was come out and endorse the illegal act that Chairman Nadler has been putting forward since July, since all this started. We have to take this up in the full House for this to be a legitimate impeachment inquiry. We haven't done that. Nancy Pelosi is not going to make the 31 Democrats that sit in districts that Trump won 4 years ago actually take that tough vote. They don't care about impeaching because once they impeach, they know he's acquitted in the Senate, if the Senate even takes it up. What they want to do is they want to drag this out and smear the president until the election.
Congressman, what happens today when the transcript is released if, in fact, there's nothing in there that indicates that there was any wrongdoing on that phone call? The president has said that. Yesterday, in her comments, Pelosi basically condemned him and called him guilty for betraying us with his actions. So what happens to her position today if, in fact, that transcript comes out and shows there's nothing?
You know, I don't know that Nancy Pelosi would have done everything she did yesterday if she had a crystal ball that said that transcript's coming out tomorrow. It makes no sense to me that they jumped the gun on this and that they're not just waiting to see what this transcript and this whistleblower report actually says. But if, in fact, it comes out today, as I suspect it will, as the president has said it will, and it says nothing of material substance, I think you're going to see a lot of head scratching, at least privately, complaining in the Democratic caucus. And I don't know how they'll spin it, but I'm sure they'll find a way.
Well, Congressman, this is Kelly Torrance. You had a good point about do they have the votes? I mean, if Nancy Pelosi doesn't think she has the votes to bring the idea, an inquiry for impeachment to the floor, will they have the votes for impeachment? But I was also wondering, would they have the votes to do any of the stuff we've been talking about? The trade agreement, gun control, gun issues. I mean, is it just that this was impossible for these people, Democrats and Republicans, to work with each other right now because Democrats are just intent on never giving President Trump and Republicans a win?
First of all, yes, but a few predictions. One, I suspect they'll end up getting there by December with their vote count on impeachment. Guns, they never could come to an agreement. USMCA, that's unique because it's the one issue Democrats and Republicans have agreed on. Nancy Pelosi knows there's bipartisan support, but they refuse to deliver a victory to the president. They do not want him claiming victory in any way. So that's especially frustrating, especially to some of these swing district Democrats who needed to go back to their district and deliver a win. The USMCA was one of those issues.
So the question is, will voters respond to that? I mean, the House Democrats are expected to meet today to discuss the president's trade deal with Canada and Mexico. Do you think if it goes away and we don't see it ever come to the floor, will the NAFTA revision be put on the back burner, and do voters react, Kelly, on this and vote them out, basically?
Well, and that's, this is a great question because trade is one of the things, really, getting a new agreement is one thing that President Trump ran on. And this is something that people in a lot of these areas that are swing districts were wanting a win on. They saw some manufacturing leaving. They felt that the deal had been unfair to Americans. It was something that President Trump promised to do. My other question is, if it doesn't pass before the end of October, there's an election going on in Canada right now. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is having a little problem there.
Yes, he is.
He's got some brown face, black face photos that have surfaced.
Right.
So what happens if he is out? Will the Conservatives win? And perhaps they don't like some of the compromises that Trudeau made to get the deal with the Trump and the Mexicans.
What about that, Congressman? Because Kevin McCarthy's been on this program, the Minority Leader, and he was stressing that he wanted to see USMCA to the floor before the Canada election. So what happens to USMCA once, like, if Justin Trudeau loses, for example?
I think it's a huge problem. And, you know, the question about will the voters punish the Congress, I think you go back in history. If you look after Barack Obama's bad midterm, 2010, Republicans win the House. I think Republicans mismanaged that because Republicans said we are not going to deliver Barack Obama any wins whatsoever. Voters didn't punish Barack Obama. They reelected him. Fast forward to now, Democrats are doing the same thing Republicans did. I think they'll reelect the president, reward him, punish Congress.
All right, Congressman, we'll leave it there. Thanks very much for joining us. We'll be watching. Congressman Gooden.